Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a comparison video for you. And today we're going to take a look at two knives, both of which are really well suited to EDC. One, of course, is extremely famous and extremely well loved. This is the Paramilitary 2, as if anyone watching needed me to even say that. The other knife, though, I would say has been a bit of a sleeper. Really well done. I like the design. I like a lot of things about this knife, in fact, but not that many people have been talking about this. And I think that's kind of a shame because this is a pretty impressive knife from We Knives for 2018. Now, the reason I'm comparing these two is they are extremely similar. They are about the same size. They're about the same cost. They weigh very close to the same. They are similar in construction and materials, at least in the handle. The blade, of course, is going to be a little bit different, but it's S35VN, in this case, an M390, but normally it would be S30V. So there are so many comparisons here, and even the price, I kind of mentioned it, but just to give you an idea, I think these are like $142 and these are $146. So they're within $4 of each other. All right. Now, there are some things that you're getting on the Wii that are a little bit different, and we'll talk about that as we work our way through. And I really want to have you guys weigh in down below, okay? Now, here's though what I want from you guys in the comments. Try not to be too demanding here, but a lot of times in a video like this, you know, people just kind of pop in and say, you know, Para 2 all the way, or, you know, the Para 2's junk anyway, just buy something else. You know, it's just kind of short, non-reason stuff. So when you're commenting on this video, I would love to hear your thoughts, but I really want you to try to justify it. So if you say to me, Kevin, I take the Streak any day of the week and twice on Sunday, well, that's great, but please tell me why. On the other hand, if you say, hey, the Para 2 is the best knife that's ever been made, nothing will ever compete with it, again, tell me why down in the comments. I really want to hear that thought process that's going into it, and I'm going to share my thought process with you here right now. So beginning with size, weight, and carry. How easy are these to carry in pocket, and how much do you get for the extra energy you have to carry to have the extra energy you have to put out to have these with you? Okay, so what we have here is 8 1/8 inches overall. This guy is 8 1/4. So there's only an 1/8 inch difference here. 3.5 inch blade, 3.5 inch blade. 3.7 ounces, 3.9 ounces, so very close. The one difference I will say is in the width. Okay, we've got about 1.5 inches here and only 1 1/8 on this guy. And the one other thing that's different is the thickness. So this is about 9/16 and this is about 7/16. So they're actually almost, well, they are 1/8 of an inch different. Okay, so quite a bit of extra thickness on the Streak here compared to the Para 2. All right, now these are really close. Okay, and you know, I guess you've got to consider the clip a little bit. Both of these clips, though, do work quite well. So really, you know, just going by the numbers, I've got to kind of give the edge to the Streak, even though I have to say this, these are almost too close to call. Like they're within 0.2 ounces of each other. And they're within like fractions of an inch in terms of size. And so they're very close. But the Streak does edge out the Para just a little bit, especially because in terms of how much space it takes up in pocket, you're getting a fair bit of extra efficiency there. Okay, so there's the comparison in terms of size, weight. Now the blade, again, is going to be quite a significant difference. On the Streak here, we've got M390 steel in this drop point blade, satin on the flats, stonewash on the bevels, including this top swedge here. It's 123 thousandths stock. It's 19 thousandths behind the edge. So we've got a really slicey blade here. And of course in M390 steel, which is, you know, about the best cutlery steel that you can get. Now, moving over to the Para, this is S35VN, but it would either be that or S30V. Both fantastic steels, highly corrosion resistant, highly abrasion resistant. I don't know why I couldn't spit that out. We've got this beautiful satin beautiful satin finish on a full flat grind. Now there are variations. I guess that would be the one thing to talk about here. Both of these have some options available. You can get a streak with black on the flats, or you can get a Para 2 that's black DLC. Okay, so, and I'm sure most of us are very familiar with those two options. By the way, 146 thousandths stock and 29 thousandths behind the edge on the Para. You get a teeny little bit of extra cutting edge with the streak, but not really enough that I feel like I can give extra points for it. Okay, but here's my take on the streak. I'm actually going to give the win to the streak for two reasons. Number one, M390 is a fantastic blade steel, and getting that blade steel in this really well put together package at a reasonable price point, I think that is worth considering. I also have to say I like the style of the Streak's blade a little bit better. I just, with the polished flats and the stone wash, creates a nice contrast there. And so stylistically, I think the Streak is a little bit better. And, I do like that slightly thinner edge as well. So I've got to give the comparison in this regard to the Streak, although like we said above, it's so close. All right. If you were to shut your eyes and do some cutting with both of these, I doubt most people could tell a difference. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and talk about the action. Now, this is where we're going to get the biggest amount of difference, and probably one of the things that is going to have an impact on, your overall choice between these two. Both of these are very, very smooth. Both of them have phenomenal action. They're fun to fidget with on the couch. This, of course, you can Spidey flick. You can, kind of roll open. You do only get the one opening option on the Streak here. I will also say that as I've carried and used the Streak, it's gotten better and better and better as it's kind of broken in a little bit. You do get the wee ceramic bearings and ceramic detent, which is really, really nice. However, I have to say, guys, that this is a case where my utility preference does kind of come into play here. And the Para 2 does its best. Look at that. Drop shut knife with phosphor bronze washers. So there's no bearings in here, right? This is just as smooth as silk because of just the excellent level of quality. Now, yeah, is this action smooth? It's very smooth. It's very nice. And I absolutely am impressed with this knife. And I would say this, if you want that really crisp, really smooth ceramic action that you get in a high-end knife, this is a great option. It's like $146, so you're not spending, $200 or $300 to get action that's really at that quality level. That is something that the Streak has going for it. But for an EDC type of knife, I'm going to go for the phosphor bronze washers. You don't have as much maintenance. You don't have the as much anyway possibility of dirt and grime getting in there and gunking things up. It's just a more long-term and more reliable pivot with the phosphor bronze. So, and the fact that the Para is that smooth with those phosphor bronze bearings, phosphor bronze washers, is really impressive. So I've got to give the action to the Para, not because it's necessarily better, but because it's at least just as good, only they've achieved it without using bearings, right? Of course you can make a smooth blade if you use ceramic bearings and stuff like that's, and everyone does that these days, and it's fairly easy to achieve. What you don't see as often is a pivot that's that smooth that doesn't have those bearings. Now, that said, just one last point here, that the Streak is very, very nice. Okay, moving on to ergonomics and handle construction. So here we have a G10 liner lock, nested liners. Let's see if I can show you there. It is heavily milled out, and you can only there you go. You can kind of see the back there now. There you go. You can see that they've really, really milled out those stainless steel liners. Okay. And they've really tried to get this as light as possible. We've got contoured G10 that's fairly grippy and feels really, really nice in hand. The pocket clip does not create a hot spot at all. In fact, it feels really, really nice, but it is only single position. And then the backspacer here with the green G10, it's fine. The way it's located, it's very, very comfortable in hand, but that's about the only thing that I'm not totally in love with. I would have loved to see a piece of blue titanium back here to kind of match with the hardware. Anyway, on the Para 2, we have open pillar construction, very much open like the Streak. It is, again, milled out to save some weight, and those liners are nested. We have the compression lock instead of the liner lock, which I really didn't consider in the previous just because, I like both quite a bit. In terms of, overall durability, these are very, very similar. Now, yeah, you're getting those nice little upgrades with the titanium hardware and pocket clip, which is nice. But really, in terms of usefulness, I don't know how to, I don't know how to bring that into my consideration. If you really, really want, those nice anodized screws and stuff, then maybe it's a huge thing for you. I personally don't care that much about it. All right. In hand, both of these are fantastic. They're really, really comfortable. There's no hot spots. Perhaps the Streak, I could only complain about one thing, and that is I would have liked just a little bit more area for my thumb up here. So that can definitely be a consideration in this comparison. Lanyard hole, tube lanyard hole, again, not really, to me, something worth making a distinction between the two of them. So how do we gauge these two handles? Honestly, guys, I've got to call this one a tie. I really... they're too close to really make a call. Now, if you're a lefty, maybe that would be different because you could put the pocket clip on the other side of the Para. Well, you can't do that with, maybe you can actually. I see a second hole there. So actually you could reverse the clip on the Streak as well. So really, as I say, too close to call. So I'm going to call it a tie because both are really, really comfortable. Both are built to similar levels of quality. What are you going to say here that really makes one stand out that much more than the other? On the ergonomics department, I do like the fact that I've got that little choil on the Para, although I'm losing a little blade length for it. On the Streak, there is a considerably large cutout here, but honestly, my finger cannot fit in there. So it really doesn't make the cut as a finger choil. If you tried to use it as a finger choil, you're gonna get cut. Okay, so as I say, ergonomically, these are both very, very good. I've got to say it's a tie because there's nothing, again, that I can definitively declare that one is categorically better. So listen, both of these are very, very well done. I absolutely love these. And honestly, the Streak, the action on it and the smoothness of it seems to get a little bit better every day. It's really, really breaking in nicely. Now the Para 2, I've had it for years and it's well broken in. And if you just got a Para 2, they will break in and get a little better over time. So be mindful of that. If you're like, mine's not that great, it will probably get there unless there's something that's a little off. And I have had a couple of Para 2s where I just couldn't get them tuned to where they were as good as this one. This has the best action I've had on a Para 2. So that said, can I really declare one of these a strong winner? No, not really. Would I say there are some little extras that you're getting on the Streak that you're not going to get on the Para 2? Yeah, of course, the anodized hardware, the more stylized blade, more attractive blade in my mind. Of course, M390 is a significant factor that needs to be considered. And then it depends on, what kind of lock type do you prefer? What kind of action do you prefer? Those things are pretty subjective and are going to be, open to each individual person's preference. So there are a couple points where I think the Streak really excels: size, blade shape, blade length, cutting edge, the geometry of it. So yeah, those things I think we got to give credit to. However, I think overall I've got to say, well, I think I'm going to Sorry, guys, I'm really indecisive here. If you're still sticking around, tell me what you think down below. I'm going to give this a little more thought. I've done a really good comparison. I just feel like these are so close together that I can't declare a definitive winner. Thanks for watching. Sorry for being to waffle so much at the end there, but I hope you guys will bear with me and give me some slack on not being able to come to a hard and fast decision. We'll talk to you later. Oh, wait, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Now we'll talk to you later.